Hi, I'm Ailbhe McDonagh. In this video, we are going to be looking at the bow and the correct angles to use when we're playing with the bow. You'll already have seen my bow hold video where you can see exactly where you place your fingers on the bow. Now, if you're just starting out, you may be a little further up the bow at the moment, so you can use this video and practice all of the things we talk about, holding the bow a little higher up. Or even if you're down here, but the bow is starting to feel a little bit heavy, that's still okay for you to just move up the bow and just move down a little bit, maybe every week or two, and there's no rush for you to get to the end here. It's all the same premise. So I have my bow hold all ready and set to go. The bridge itself, you can see, is curved like a bridge that you would drive over in the car. So the reason that it's curved like that is because if it was a flat surface, then of course we'd be able to play the C string and the A string, but then the D and the G string would be at the same level as those two. So when we tried to play them, we wouldn't be able to play them individually. So that's the reason that we have a bridge shape down here, so that we can actually find an angle to play every single string on its own. So looking at this, what we're always trying to do is play parallel to the bridge. Now, it's quite hard to see when you're sitting here looking down to see what is actually parallel to the bridge at this moment. So there are two things you can do. First of all, you can, if you want to play the D string, for example, I put my bow on top of the bridge. And I put my angle right in the place where it's sitting on top of the D, but it's got an equal distance, not touching either the A or the G string. And then I simply move my bow back. So the idea is that I'm always parallel to that angle every time I'm playing on the D string. Similarly, again, I do the same thing for the G string. So I move back. So you can see I'm really always trying to be parallel to that angle. Now the G and the D string look pretty much the same as how they look when you're looking down the instrument. But the A and the C string, unfortunately, don't look at all like they look when you're looking down the instrument. So we really have to be quite careful when we're playing those. So I've again put my bow hair onto the bridge, and I'm at an angle that just misses the G string. If I have my bow on both the C and the G string, then I'll be at the angle to play both of them together like a double stop. But here I am on the C string, I move back. So have a look here. I have the bow coming up in this direction, and when I bring my hand out, the bow is actually, it's coming towards my body more than it was. Say for example here. That feels to me on the G string that it's just coming straight out to the side. But when I play on the C string, it's coming much closer to my body. So it's lower as well. So when you look at all of these strings, I play the C. Okay, so then I'm going to move up to the angle for the G string. So you can see I'm down here in this arc. You can actually see an arc from down here up here. So there's quite a lot of difference if you're out at the tip between the angle of the C string. So look at my A string. Now this one is the hardest one to achieve and probably takes the most practice. So again, we're here. So we keep the angle here on the bridge that just misses the D string, okay? So we come across and we go out. So as I'm going out, quite often people forget about the level. So as we go out, they hit off the D string. So you really have to be quite level with your hand. That's where your good bow hold comes in. But it's almost like I'm pointing out to this direction. which is really far away when you think about that. And it also depends on how long your arms are. So if you have shorter arms, then you can tilt your cello. I have quite long arms, but I still sometimes tilt my cello if I'm playing a piece that is on the A string for quite a lot. You can see just how far that has to go. So sometimes people play the A string and they start at a perfect angle and then they turn like this, and you can hear the sound gets affected when we're not parallel the whole way out. The best way to practice this is in front of a mirror, because watching the mirror, you can really set it up in a way that you can see what is exactly parallel to that angle that we want. I have a graphic here so you can see what I mean by clearing the angle of the G string, clearing the angle of the D and the C, clearing the angle of the G and the A, and clearing the angle of the D when you're on the A string. So hopefully this graphic will show you the points where the bow hand has to go. It's almost like you're rowing. So the hand almost feels like it's going out forward and also up in an arc. So really push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's much, much easier to play the C string because we're coming closer to our body than the angle for the A string. The D and the G string, they both feel pretty comfortable. So most of your work should be done on the A and the C string. One other tiny little thing to think about is that each string as you go lower gets thicker and thicker. So the A string, that plays pretty easily. So does the D. The G gets a little muddier, so we need a bit of a weightier stroke. And then the C string is quite thick. So if you just use the same type of motion on the A string as you do on the C string, it will sound sort of fluffy. So instead, just a little more weight, and that will start off the vibrations and the resonance. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know.